She blew up on me. She's pouring out of there. Look at that. That can't be right. But I'll tell you straight up, I hate this truck. If you're just tuning in, the Ram truck blew up on me and spread oil all over, stranding me on the road hundreds of miles from anywhere. I do a few quick repairs and get back on the road. The overall mission is to return the Kubota SVL 65 that we've been testing out and exchange it for a Kubota 75, which I'm hoping will have a little bit better balance, power, and performance to fit our company's needs. Okay, we made it. Let's just see how our leaker is doing. Zero. Zip, zilch, zero. Okay, so we're gonna be trading up. On my book, we're trading up. Other people's books, we may be trading sideways.
Yes, in some scenarios, like obviously when you and I first talked about this, I honestly thought you guys were doing more work, turf work, things like that. So it was important for me to try to cut down on that ground pressure. Now, I think once you've used that 65 a little bit more, you realize that the horsepower that 75 class that you were always used to is what you need. So we're gonna be going a little less ground pressure, a little more weight, and a little more horsepower.
Yeah.
So, you know, we gave it a fair try for 3 months. I think you liked, for the most part, what the machine had to offer. Your limitations were all on horsepower and I guess power to the tracks as well because of the weight ratio.
I think there's going to be a big and noticeable difference in performance from the 65 to the 75. And the reason I say that is because we're not only just jumping up in horsepower, but we're also putting less track onto the ground. Correct. Which means that if, you know, they have that calculation of pounds per square inch. Well, if they had it for horsepower per pounds per square inch, I think the 75 is going to be noticeable enough that for a guy like me, because we're tuned into that 75 class. I mean, that's always been our sweet spot. That's always been the machine for us to really enjoy and go to. And when we stepped down to the 65, it wasn't a big difference, but it was noticeable. It was enough for me where I'm going, Mama wants a little more. I want just a little bit more.
So the good news is the simplicity that I know you and I have talked about that you love. You still got the door, you still have the, you know, the easy on-off presence and switches and all that kind of stuff. So you will notice zero difference within being inside that operator.
The cabs are the same, aren't they? Aren't they identical?
Kind of.
Okay.
So they are the exact same cab, exact same door. There's technically more room in this cab, and that's why they're able to put a larger full-size seat in there. And then they're going to be putting so where they cut corners a little bit was they were able to put a smaller seat to give you the idea of that 65 feeling as big as the 75 cab.
Oh.
So they kind of cheated.
Okay.
But unnoticeable cheats. So you got a full-size seat in this one, and this is actually a seat out of the wheeled machine, so it's a smaller seat. So this one's got a little bit more all-day comfort into it versus. Is it wider like then
to accommodate for that seat, Corey?
Yes. So the machine's a little bit wider. I believe. No, cab width is the same. Cab width is the same because they share the exact same door.
Okay. Okay. And is there any other creature comforts inside that we should be aware of, because we're talking now about the cabs?
Well, you got lucky with this one.
Okay.
So this one actually has an air ride seat suspension,
and that's an option upgrade.
That is an option. Or an optional upgrade from Kubota. You cannot do that right now within the 65s, but the 75s you can. This one we were kind of classing out for an older gentleman who had some back pains. He ended up going this route with the air ride seat. So
okay. What else are we looking at for the frame of the machine? Are we looking at a change from the frame of this machine to the frame of this machine?
Yeah, so everything's going to be a little bit bigger on this machine. So this machine's going to be more in that 10,000 pound class.
Okay.
Just under that, where this one was closer to that 7,000 pound. So you're a ton difference. So we're close to a ton difference within these two units.
Oh crap, we have a lot more weight.
You got a lot more weight.
Okay.
So we're changing that, but then, you know, like what we talked about before, your track differences. So they share the exact same track, but now you can see that this machine physically sits higher as far as ground clearance goes, because you have less track surface actually touching the ground.
So you can, like, I don't know if you can see that through the camera, but there it is noticeable.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is fairly noticeable.
It's inches, but it's definitely there.
It's definitely there.
And you can really see it, like when you sit right here, Stan, and you look at like where the arm approach is, right here, and then you come over to here, and you know, we're sitting up good 3 inches, 4 inches.
And this engine is a Kubota 65 horse.
65 horse, 75 horse.
75 horse.
Yep.
We're not talking about a difference in like the...
Realistically, this one I think is running in, without having a spec sheet here, I think this one's 67 horse, 74 and a half.
Okay.
So there's not a huge difference in horsepower, but obviously the weight, the tracks being on the ground, or I should say less track surface on the ground, that's where you're going to notice that increase in power.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
Maybe, because now you got me rethinking, because if we got 2,000 more pounds that we're toting around, is that 7 extra horsepower
here's the
going to make
biggest
that much
issue
of a difference?
with the 65 and the 75, and this is where I love being a salesman, to be able to look at these things, is I have customers who have large fleets that are split right down the middle. They got half 65s because they're doing turf work that day, and they have half 75s because they're already tearing up that ground, similar to like what I've been seeing you do, and starting from scratch. You know, so there's definitely an application for both. I was thinking that we were going to go more of this route the first time. I asked you, prove me wrong. You might be proving me wrong, but we'll find out.
We'll find out. It's not proved right or wrong yet. Okay, so that's interesting. You've got companies that they've got splits of both.
50-50.
And when they don't want to tear up the turf, they go with this because of the larger track. Actually being physically on the ground, and when they're going to bulldoze through the ground, then they go with this one.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And then, you know, honestly, I always feel a little bit more like the 65 for me is a little bit more nimble of a machine. I do a lot of woodwork, so I'm out on the property a lot doing a lot of woodwork. And you know, like the other day I got into some small cattails with a mower. I'm glad I took the 65 because of my ground pressure, because I could feel that track wanting to go before I got into trouble, where I have been in trouble with that machine.
Interesting.
So, you know, it's minute differences. You know, it's kind of like, why run wheels versus rubber? You know, why run a 65 horsepower machine versus 75? Now, if you and I first looked at this and said, let's put you in a 40 horsepower class machine versus a 75,
I wouldn't have came out to the middle of Wisconsin.
There'd be a huge difference.
Corey, I think I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, huge difference at that point.
When you get real, let me know. All right, so if these guys want more to find out more from you, because I mean, honestly, I just drove 238 miles just to meet up with you. How can they find you? What would they do?
Shoot me a text, man. Honestly, text probably works best for me.
Okay.
It's 608-963-6108. Yep.
What if some guy's like down in Iowa or over in South Dakota and he wants a Kubota? Can he still text you? Is it worthwhile to him? Or
absolutely. You know, if they find value talking to me, I always just stress, just contact me. You know, the biggest thing that I want to do is get people in the right machines. You know, Kubota might not be for everybody, and it's not necessarily always for everybody, just like Chevy, Dodge, and Ford isn't always the right fit for everybody as well. I really like simplicity. There's other people who love all the creature comforts that a different machine can handle. But, you know, we can help you walk through and answer some of those questions.
I like this guy.
Just call me.
Thanks, Corey.
Thanks, brother.
I appreciate it.
Hey, don't run into any more issues on the way home, though.
I called Corey because he's supposed to be at the vet and then taking his daughter to swim lessons. I'm like, Corey.
I still do. I got the boys watching the dog inside right now.
You better get going. You go.
See you, dude.
All right.
It's a pleasure seeing you as always.
I'm like, Corey.
Next time. We got to get you into an excavator soon.
Where's my loader? Where's my loader?
You're like a day too late, but those green fence look like they could have your name on it. We'll see you, brother.
See you, Corey. I was like broke down on the road, and I'm like, Corey, I know you got to go get your dog to the vet, and you got to take your daughter to swim lessons. I'm stuck, and I'm coming as fast as I can. And he's like, I'll see what I can do, man. So I literally wheeled in and parked, and we started talking. I still got to get my truck out of the middle of the drive lane. People keep looking at me like, what are you doing? Taking up all the road.
Hey, if you want to swap trailers, just hook on to any other one. I'll take that one off your hands.
It's a nice trailer,
I
isn't
like it a lot, and it looks good with that orange on the back.
Dude, it matches perfect. You should have seen how many thumbs up I was getting going down
Looks
the
good.
road. Arms like a freaking gorilla. Alright guys, this is my first time using one of these, so automatically stopped. I'm on 6. Okay, that's not super tight. Let's do the rest. And we'll crank it up to 7 if we have to. We'll see how this works. Let's go. Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Speed Binders. Thank you, you guys, which told me that Dirt Perfect loves Speed Binders, and I need to check out Speed Binders. Because of you guys, I'm eating. Speed Binders for the win. But I don't know. Is it bad that I don't know if I really want my crews to have them? Because I like these things. And I want to know where they are. And when they go to the cruise, well, they use them. You don't necessarily know exactly where everything is after that. I don't know if they'd appreciate them as much as I do. Earlier in the video, or maybe as a different video, I don't know, whatever. We broke down on the side of the road, lost a bunch of oil. And then what I ended up doing is just dumping some oil in. I didn't have time to let it settle. So let's let her settle, calm down. We'll check our oil levels. And while that's doing that, let's go inside Mcfarlanes and just look around the store. This is supposedly one of the biggest rental centers in the Midwest. I mean, I don't know what difference that makes to anybody, but
was not wearing a helmet.
It does mean that there should be some cool crap in there. Why is the engine light flashing now? Oh. Here's the deal. If my Dodge has one more problem, I don't care if a tire blows, I don't care if a pheasant hits it. If my Dodge has one more problem, I think I'm going with the new Godzilla Ford. I may have to. That may be the sign. That's not something I have used a whole lot, are those mini tractors. I just use regular ones. That's something I need. And they got one with a thumb. Trying to get excavators and heavy equipment this year, holy crap. It's been tough. Tim has been trying to buy a excavator because we need one. You know, the Bobcat is looking a little rough. Can't find them. These guys got them though. Look at, they got the Fendt. They got the Fendt tractors. Let's just go shopping for a few moments here. Besides, it might be air conditioning. They even have live bait. I'll be. This place has everything you could ever want. How is that even a thing? Hot water on a hot day? Heck yeah. That's what you want, right? Am I really filming me washing my face? Why are you including this? Why are you still watching this? It's just something we all do, right? So it looks like they carry Mcfarlanes. Ooh, 97. 75-2, so that's a 2-speed. Hopefully I got a -2. Nice splitters. Oh, all steel on the back wall. Ferris Simplicity. Husqvarna. We got a Kubota diesel UTV. A lot of you guys told me to check this thing out. I do know that they've got a pretty innovative cargo container. I saw displayed. But look at these, man. Ferguson. Never ran Massey Ferguson. How are they? Are they smooth? Good? Would you buy one if you've ran one? Would you buy another one? Massey Ferguson, yay or nay? Guy doesn't want to look at a good set of work boots. Rockies. Some of you guys seem to really like Rockies. Good set of suspenders. Spend a lot more time than this in this store. That's not the point. I need to get home before midnight.
YouTube built something.
Retaining wall. Probably a retaining wall. I don't know. They call me the Dirt Monkey. I'm Stan.
Brad.
Nice to meet you,
yeah,
Brad.
I know. I watched you do several things on YouTube. What the?
I do a lot of stuff on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, you're the one who has the company. You do snow plowing and.
Yeah.
Sure. That's I watch the time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's really well done.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks, Brad.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
In fact, I think going back to. You had a dump truck that got stuck or something years ago, or a skid steer that went over on a job site or something like that.
More than likely.
Yeah.
I've had plenty of that happen.
Yeah,
in fact, on the way up here, I had a rock go through my oil filter on my truck. So I'm changing oil, and I'm sitting on the side of the road, Brad, and I'm thinking, I'm so sick of having adventures. Everywhere I go, it's just like, just get me someplace nice and smooth.
I was just gonna say, rocks going through oil filters never happens to anybody, but you got a nice adventure out of it. So.
I always have one, Brad. Have a good one, man. Have a good one. So if I split this video into two and you missed the first part, somehow I picked up a rock from the road and it went up into there, hit my oil filter, and left me on the side of the road. Right in the sweet zone. Booyah. All right. I can't just automatically assume that she's going to tow the exact same way that the other one did. Let's give the whole situation a once over. This is literally what I've done. Is this... It may seem stupid, but boy, you will catch. You do this, and just one time you will catch something. I promise you. You guys eventually will catch something there. You're like, oh, I'm glad I didn't go down the road like that. And then whisper to yourself, thank you, Dirt Monkey. I think we're good. I think we're good. Let's hit her. A stop sign and they have a stop light. How does this work? I have a stop sign and they have a stop light, but I have no. And the stop sign is facing me, so I'm not going the wrong way. I am very confused right now. I think it's just a free-for-all, man. I think it's a free-for-all. I'm creeping up. It's a free-for-all. I'm gonna do it. I'm going for it. Oh. Oh. Oops, called that one wrong. Cornfields. Look at more cornfields. Oh, what do we got over here? Oh, look at more cornfields. This is going to be an exciting ride home, you guys. If you're hungry and you like corn. Well, I'm going to keep you guys updated on how this 75 performs for us versus the 65. We've got a project coming up right down the pipeline where we're going to be removing an in-ground swimming pool. So a lot of our bread and butter. So we know exactly how a 75 horsepower machine in the past has worked. And it'll be interesting to see how this Kubota stacks up against those. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, and hey, if you enjoyed the ride today, give me a like. That goes a long way. Hope you guys did enjoy the ride. I hope it was fun. Maybe you learned something along the way. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. That's 100% for sure. And all I've got to say for the rest of this one is God bless and go get them. We'll catch you on another one, you guys.